Well, watch a Trinity. Oh, it's been. Hello, this is Dry Oasis, and I'm your host, and these are my two co-hosts, Kirby and Snorlax. Hello, Kirby and Snorlax. Hiya. And hold on a moment. I'll do something in the background. Hey there, ambitious guy. Yeah, yeah, I really like Phoenix Wright. Anyways, getting on to case 2 with a friend of mine, and oh wait, no, connected, isn't it? Not connected to the stars. Yeah, it is a signal. Oh, what in the world? That get disconnected. Hold on a moment. Signal. Right? We had everything. Weird. Yeah, there we are. I think. Alright. Back to case 5 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And hold on a moment. Software. I have a lot of friends online. Is there anything else in this journal? Probably not. Anyways, let's see here. Discord. Going to my friend. And headphones. Hey there. Hello. Hold on a moment while I share the screen. Let's see here. 5.
All right. I got it up.
All right. Okay, so we're taking it back from case.
It's number 5.
Yep, case number 5. Just making sure.
I tell you about it, but it's hilarious.
So currently we're on case 5 of Phoenix Wright, his attorney, and so far let's see here, and so far Lana Sky, the chief prosecutor, is a suspect in the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. Detective Bruce Goodman, who was found in found in Edgeworth's car and stabbed with Edgeworth's knife. But in the background, there might have been all of the people involved with the case, like Lana Skye, Emma Skye, Lana Skye's sister, Damon Gant, the chief of police, and Angel Starr, former detective turned lunch lady person, Jake Marshall. Well, not patrolman anymore of the last one, that's for sure. And I should have done a Bon Jovi, and said he's a cowboy on a steel horse he rides. He's wanted, dead or alive. And what else?
Is that one Bon Jovi?
Yeah, that one's Bon Jovi.
I didn't know that.
Let's see here. There's Jake Marshall, who's really into westerns. Former detective and now former patrolman, as he's was caught trying to steal evidence from the evidence room yesterday.
Evidence about the murder of his brother Neil.
Yeah. All of this goes back to a case 2 years ago where Joe Dark, a serial killer, killed Neil Marshall, because even though they were fighting, Joe Dark almost got away with kidnapping Emma Skye, but then Neil Marshall came in and took care of that. Lana Skye was also a former detective who used to work with Damon Gant, who was the deputy chief of police 2 years ago, and that case basically made those things easier for them. Lana became chief prosecutor. Damon Gant eventually became chief of police, although that also started the Edgeworth rumors.
The rumors being that Edgeworth cheats in his cases and will plant false evidence, which was the case for this particular incident, as Emma Skye was unable to be a witness against Joe Dark in this killing, despite the fact that Emma was attempted to be held hostage by Joe.
Right, and now we're currently at the scene of the crime where the last killing took place in Lana Skye's and Damon Gant's office. Well, it's currently Damon Gant's office now, so we're currently trying to find out what went on for the last case. So Damon Gant has a huge pipe organ, and yeah, let's take it from there.
February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office.
Whoa, where am I? Hold on a moment. Yeah, where am I? This looks so surreal. In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. It's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I could never remember where C was. That was a C note. That was actually really good. Oh, hello.
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant. He took that paper and he was reading it in his desk.
So, Righto, have you been swimming lately?
I forgot this guy likes to swim. No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. Atlanta's provocative statements.
Provocative statements. Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. Oh, my, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there?
Huh.
That's pictures of Lana, Neil, and me.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though.
Nobody's happy but Gaines.
Canteen picture. Photo at the award ceremony of Gant, Lana, and Neil. Canteen picture added to the court record. Oh.
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there's matters that need my attention. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh. But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it any further.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Ah, hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
Well, looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet. It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief can't deny our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean, like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the Chief's office. Access denied.
February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
Aw, poor guy. From sitting so long?
Actually, from serving everybody coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out at the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No, why do you ask?
He's under fire from both police department and prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court.
That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it boils down to. All falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
They have the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't she? ...
Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. And now with this.
Are there really so many people who hate him? I mean, he did get a lot of people convicted guilty, so you probably know that answer.
In our world, Only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth only has that. But he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Alright. Hey, Duke, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treats.
Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir.
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all that pressure. I'm worried, Mr. Edgeworth. Just might crack.
Under pressure, pressing down on you, pressing down on me, no man has for.
Actually, I took a look at the file earlier when the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did he find out anything?
The only evidence Drake left behind during his final attack.
Dark,
It was
okay.
during his final attack.
His
His final attack.
His final attack, you mean?
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written down somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never failed to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory.
Joe Drake was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car, so it was an accident?
Accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Just then a jogger came around the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
So, he's a serial killer by accident. Poor guy's luck. All he wanted to do was, like, I don't know, try... What? That just seems bad luck for the guy, of all things. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. I mean, definitely not like that Batista fellow.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in.
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily, Drake was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
The last witness, aka Emma. Time to present.
The murder weapon.
About this.
Hey, is that?
It has a tag attached to it with the label SO9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it, too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look at... You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyways. Take a guess where the broken off the tip was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive. Those autopsy reports, stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was found in the wound. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Updated switchblade knife, belonged to murderer Joe Dark.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What, really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. That has been deleted the day he died.
Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would change his... I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. I don't think we have anything like that yet.
I don't think we have anything related to that crime scene.
On to the prosecutor's office underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. Looks like he's writing something.
What are you doing here?
You sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around.
He's sick of rumors flying. We just want to live. I don't know how that Lindsay Lohan song goes. Anyways.
What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's where it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. Fact remains the same no matter what excuse I may have.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I only want that to say. I didn't want it that way. Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
First, last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. Too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that this case would come back to haunt me like that.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened on that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I've never cared for ceremonies, but I have to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't simply skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in the case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right.
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office.
Just Prosecutor Neil Marsh. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That's when the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
Simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. The award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. First means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake?
Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Ku, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed would slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Objection! Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive. Then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, their description of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize...
Precisely. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it is our nature to pursue these matters to their conclusion. Even if the results is something as ugly as this.
Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, why were you only given a shield?
We'll have to ask Chief Gong. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief can't. Keenan Prosecutor's Trophy. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed against behest, giving it its current form.
There's a balled up piece of paper underneath the desk.
I wonder what this could be down here.
Yeah.
Wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you
Right in front of him.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey Edgeworth. Is that the type of gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Somebody help him. He's free. Free falling.
Hold on. First, let's see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look. What? Letter of Robo Shaggy?
If you're having any trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been adjustable. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. one else should forgive me either.
Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything.
They say where there's smoke, there's a fire. Apparently, I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth.
Edgeworth.
There's a right. I have no right to serve as prosecutor.
But, Mr. Edgeworth, you were only just doing your job.
I've always made my own decisions about what I can and cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do.
Uh-oh, I think he is serious. Blah, blah, blah. To the underground parking lot.
February 24th, prosecutor's office, underground parking.
This is Angel.
Excuse me.
Huh.
Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef?
Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are a curious sort, aren't you? Kinda like the first person you sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk?
No comments.
Yeah. I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from the case was due for transferal. This just can't be all attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness?
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
Miss Starr's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago.
Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. Well, we trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think he was more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy.
Hot gravy.
Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana Sky.
My sister?
Best of the best were put on the SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo.
Lana and Chief Gant.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up in our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in the court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while others were kept secret.
But you don't have proof anything illegal was done.
I am proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of duties. Most, even without so much as an explanation. Then, Lana Sky transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor.
Nothing quite as simple as it appears.
Huh?
Lana Sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter.
She was being used.
Damien Canton and Lana Sky. Canton led the investigation with Lana, second in command. They were the best.
They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they?
Damien Gant magneticism, in particular, was almost unreal.
His magnetism.
By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible evidence? You mean...
Oh, yes. There were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though.
I think that she's talking about forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
Really?
Oh, yes. Myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake.
Mr. Marshall.
When Jake's brother was found murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes all the more frustrating.
Miss Starr.
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? ...
Lana transferred to the prosecutors 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position in chief was secure. There was only one thing left for him to control. And that was so no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
But how could he control Lana?
I don't know. One thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. And logically, there must have been a reason for a change.
Alas, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr.
You listen to me, Rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Oh, you're back.
You're still here?
I gotta make 150 copies of those files.
Oh, poor Gumshoe.
Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ.
I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's no.
Huh?
I'm not letting you into the chief's office. Period. I'd be on my neck on the line.
That office is a less crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. He's not going to like this.
What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way. Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious.
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe they pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was cold as ice, too.
He was cold as ice. He's willing to sacrifice your love.
But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective.
That's it. I've made up my mind.
He's not wasting any more time.
Here, take my ID card.
We can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. No secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What? Now I know that sounds bad.
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
Alright, Detective. Thank you.
Alright, we got our entry into the office.
Alright. Whoops.
February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office.
Here goes, Mr. Wright. Click. Beep. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's goner.
That happens. I'm counting on you two to bail me out.
Yee!
Ah!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost.
Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried if something might go wrong. So I came too.
If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket.
He's gonna need to file a report anyways. Hey, don't do that to my card.
Oh, Gumshoe.
Hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
We're all in this together. You really don't want to get. You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this, like a certain Han Solo. But first, let's talk to you. That disc on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone still using it now?
Sir, this is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at a New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk?
No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who was in there every morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There cannot possibly be any clues remaining. Now back to you.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You You only came here to look around, right? This is one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now then, let's... Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you, don't worry about it, it's supposed to stop bothering you, pal. I'll just let it go at that.
Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? I mean, he's tall, sometimes makes the longest stairs ever, with no music playing in the background. He has a good theme song. He has a huge pipe organ. That smile could go on for days.
He has a penchant for controlling things.
Yep. He's still staring in my eyes. Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet.
He likes to go swimming.
Definitely likes to go swimming and give people nicknames.
There you go. Ignoring me.
Okay, let's take a look around. Back on the other side. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. 2 hops this time. 2 hops this time. Anyways. Guess I'll check out this sort of armor. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons?
Yes, pal. Chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay.
Be careful what you say. Who knows? Chief may be hiding his armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Let it out, you guys. Don't know how scary that guy can be.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that one, we were here earlier.
Oh, it's you two.
With something in the paper. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this one.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SL9 incident? I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold it, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about the evidence list. Normally, they're twice as long?
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-size list of evidence. Blah, 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 blah. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. Would appear so. Evidence list added to the court record. This is a safe incident. It's a safe. I'll be safely sure about that. Safety.
Say, that word is right potentially.
Okay, if you say so. Looks like the code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
Try sevens.
Sure. A 7-digit number. I think I might know what it is.
You know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. Want me to try my birthday? It's...
Well, not hearing you, detective. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Confirm.
confirmed. We did it!
Bingo. What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
7777 777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered that room the room that day.
You mean 7777777? That ID number?
I think you're 1-7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside?
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's a
It's a shot from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, there's someone wearing a shirt like that once. I think it's the chief's made up this. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? Is this all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great. Now I have to prove your relevancy to get them. Are these two items related to the XL9 incident? Come on, there's gotta be something you can show the detective.
Well, the cup is easy. We have like most of the cup. Okay.
Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
Oh, I remember the three of us put that thing back together. Ah, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic, especially since we did it yesterday. Wasn't this a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know that fragment we just found?
You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what your work you can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again like Humpty Dumpty, it will prove that Chief Gam knowingly hid some evidence, and he was responsible of Humpty Dumpty making that fall. Here goes.
Wow, that was a pretty big piece.
Yep. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. You were saying something?
I thought it was a big piece.
Yep, definitely a big piece. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. What?
Hey guys, get a load of this.
What is it?
This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
Huh. There's a reddish line on it. Reddish line? That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gunn hide this in his office?
Disabled jar. Evidence. Undisabled jar updated in the court record. We saw blood. We saw a handprint. I wonder what that could mean. Oh.
Can we spray it or...
Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. So you gonna take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh.
What are you doing? Are you sticking out your hands like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
We're not here to fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Ah, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder in the cloth, then once they've been observing the prints, blow the rest away. Or do you mind, Mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. So, how was your day been so far?
Pretty good. I was able to get ahead of some of my work for the next week, but, you know, it's probably not worth too much excitement.
True.
Went to the library, picked up like 1 million books, technically 15 books.
Nice.
This promotion going where if you check out 30 books in a month, you get a little squishmallow. So we're trying to go for a squishmallow.
What's a squishmallow?
Like a stuffed animal. It's like a weirdly soft stuffed animal. It's not like flexible. It's very firm, but it has very, very soft texture. It's very nice to the touch.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going for like one of those little ones. There we go.
Yep. Anyways, continue your story. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we're going for the squishmallow, and we're halfway there.
You're halfway
It's
there.
more than halfway through the month, but we're halfway to the squishmallow.
I'm guessing you're gonna be living on a prayer then. Or another Bon Jovi song. That was surely coincidental.
Yeah.
Anyways. Wait, what? I was only just guessing, but what?
Emma Sky. I did not expect that one.
No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Hey, you, over here.
Forget the girl for now. She's gonna do other stuff.
What's going on here? Why are you kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
What, with my own hands? At least give me some gloves. Piece of cloth found in Chief Kent's safe. Evidence for something, but what? Here's Emma Sky's prints. Added to the court record. Now back over here, pal.
Well, was I any help?
Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now, this is Gant again.
Nah, that's not Farrakhan, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat?
Eee.
Chief Gant.
We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. I was walking on my meeting. Happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog running right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. You don't mean me, sir. Now, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But sir. Yeah, get out. Yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too then.
Hey, you, the one with the spiky hair?
Without the spiky hair.
Don't go yet.
Me, sir.
I'd like a word with you.
But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You with the spiky hair, you're free to go.
Mr. Wright.
Look, pal, I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. But no, you had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew I'd be like this, never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day.
February 24th, Detention Center, Visitors Room. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
There's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
I've already told you all I can.
What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who started the good thing.
You know, I think I've finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Seems Edgeworth is right.
Edgeworth?
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Is the term we used, I believe.
That was my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. After we take a little 5-minute break or so, we'll continue on at 7 p.m. PST. I'd be back.
Too.
Right? Oh, yeah. I don't think I've introduced you yet, Fuzzy Cow. Say hello, Fuzzy Cow.
Hello. This is my first time playing the game, so if you have any questions, don't ask me.
Right? Right. We've been streaming this for, saying 10 episodes now, I believe? Let me check. No, 11 episodes so far. This might be the finale to the series. The actual finale. We're just doing the bonus case that was on the DS version. That's still part of the other stuff. Anyways, let's talk to Lotta Sky. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did, yet there is no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No. I think afraid is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence.
For agreement's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask this person? Whom may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly frightened of. What is this person's name?
Obvious.
Gotta be. Take that!
Well, Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget this.
I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think?
Sure, but can you stop spinning around like that? You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, right round, round, round.
We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective.
Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, those are serious offenses.
Why is it though that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant?
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was...
I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant.
If you intend on accusing Chief Gant, you need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case.
Take that. I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him?
Touche, Mr. Wright. It is as you summarized. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman.
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
Just as I suspected, despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken. I discovered that the murder weapon was while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SO9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in it. So I took it out and stabbed him with the other knife.
That would be Edgeworth's knife?
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the moment of the stabbing. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand?
Yes, seems that I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
It took a lot of work to finally close that Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So, you hid Dark's knife?
The weapon that was used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
So you wrapped the knife and your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Sorry. What? That was a little glitch there. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe.
Right. And I called my sister. To tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone in the force to know about this.
That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence.
Speaking of phone calls, I have a bad feeling about one of them yesterday.
You had a bad feeling about one of them that day? Of the murder? A bad feeling?
Truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gaunt, the first thing I did was make a phone call. Phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him?
Lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. At least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke with him, he went off on an escapade of his own.
Oh, you mean...
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands.
He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence.
He already had stolen the ID card, but it seemed he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, the remaining doubts we had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room?
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
But Lana,
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as defense attorney and as an investigator. Now, please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued. Alright. We're in this for a long run. This is going to be the last trial with 3 acts, so let's see how we prepare ourselves for the next 2 hours and see if what we'll have to do by then.
Sounds good.
Right. 2.5
February
hours.
24th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2.
2.5 hours. Let's see how this goes. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if... This is Edgeworth?
Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Edgeworth!
Knowing you've already figured it out. Who's the owner of the 77777 card? ID number, that is?
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True, not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty.
But she didn't do anything. Or she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll have to ever know the truth is to try it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in the court, Mr. Wright.
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chiquette has on her, it's now.
February 25th, 10 o'clock. District Court. District Courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is where the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gantz.
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Archie? Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough, as it is in my work. Ah, that's a good one. Don't think I could top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard that she intends to say, I think she should be granted her request. In the end, you'd save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Griffin in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana! Objection! You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana...
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to you. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial.
Well, darn. That was probably 2 hours that I'll probably never get back.
Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Objection. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. I'm now worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gunn. What? Creating another fabrication to prove your past mistakes. Cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it is obvious to me that some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hear her testimony. Hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Sky.
It doesn't matter what you are thinking, Sky.
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecutor's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Count? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Sky. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dog of the Joe Dog killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, most certainly is. Well, okay then.
He sure gave in fast.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Yesteryear. All my summer troubles seem so far away. Now I've got a place to object today. Oh, I believe in yesteryear. Wait. Two years ago, I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
The good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Alright, so the first part is a press. What should we press on?
She said she saw him get stabbed. We know that that is not the case.
It's a press. We need more information.
Is this for the court record or for ours?
Huh?
I think there's a statement that says that she saw the guy he stabbed in the chest, right?
Yep.
You should press that.
Alright. Hold it. That must have been a real shock. Even now when I close my eyes, I can still see it as clearly. But if you close your eyes, this help you with... Darn it, I forgot how Pompeii by Bastille goes.
Yeah, let's see. What were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. Lana sure does, blah blah. Let's press another statement. What do you think we need more information on?
I don't think that one's relevant. Go to the next one. Next one. Do we want this one to have more information? Or does it...
Sure, let's do that. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on. A lightning struck nearby. Man, I wish I was thunderstruck. So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. I was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right. But just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left behind an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
You told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. Words just failed me. That's why I drew a picture. Picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
That's about the picture, silly. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
Objection. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. Evidence list. Wonder what he meant by, huh? What in the world?
Well, that's certainly a drawing.
A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. I've got a very bad feeling about this. Objection! Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. Yet you would insist on denying its existence?
Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for the case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! An evidence list.
The evidence list for the SL9 incident.
Yes. Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn. Ah, what is this? Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. Objection! What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge can have access to that list. Huh. These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here that they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
Now, I know that looks bad.
Order, order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there must be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's impossible. Let's see. Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Is that thing? That's it? That thing? That thing that was dancing in the evidence room? Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Half of this list was found in Gant's desk. Evidence lists were stored and updated in the court record.
Very well. Witness. Will you please testify about the picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
You think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind?
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defendant now may begin its cross-examination.
Alright, so there's a contradiction in this one. So we got to present evidence to a certain statement.
Wow. There's not a contradiction with that statement, I'm pretty sure. Alright, that's fine. Okay.
And now you know with that, there has to be a contradiction somewhere around here. So, let's think about this one long and hard.
We know that the guy was stabbed in his lungs.
Right?
And we also know that somehow, at the end of the day, Joe Dark was also knocked unconscious.
Right. Let's see.
So,
do you see anything else suspiciously weird about this photo?
Joe Dark appears to be right-handed. I do not see anything weirdly suspicious about this.
Right. Think about... Let's go with the autopsy reports. Do you see anything that's weird about this?
So, we're talking about the single stab wound, right? In the heart or the lung? The overhead attack would probably not be lung.
It could be, but look a little bit closer. There should be something else that would draw your attention.
The tip of the weapon was missing. And in the picture,
the wound was...
there is no tip to this knife.
Sure, let's try and see what's going on with that. Objection! I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture witness Drew contradicts a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright. Perhaps it would be a faster or more simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Take that! The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive evidence. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should have not yet been the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
What is the meaning of this? Objection. Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Objection! Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. What does this mean? Objection. The tip of the knife was undesignedly discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection! That's why you asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Objection! Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're tracing on thin ice, right?
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No. Order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupt?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place on the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the Keenan Prosecutor's Award at the ceremony, Neil Martian questioned Joe Dark alongside with Damon Gantz. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man was really holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. But of course there's one. The witness is adamant. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained. It can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright, in that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's a real murder weapon.
It's either the picture of the trophy or is the trophy. I think it's the picture of the trophy.
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Samurai Jack. Right here inside this picture. This is the picture. Go on ahead.
This is the picture of the awards ceremony. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Order.
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Objection! objection. But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Awards 9 was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising the knife would have been Prosecutor Near Marshall.
Oh. Oh.
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it! Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
This list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture, I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting. Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Objection. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well. Hold it. Stop. Please, don't pursue this any further.
Lana,
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already commenced the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
it seems you're finally getting to the core of the matter. Right, so this is another present. So obviously the Blue Badger theme is going to be the one we're going to be presenting statement for. So, no.
What's the shield look like? So that doesn't look at all like the Blue Badger. Are we referring to the cup behind them? Can we go back to that photo?
You got it. The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, That doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger. Oh, I hate this part. Hopefully I get it right on my first try. Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoints?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this. Oh my god, I hate this part. Hopefully first try. Hopefully, this goes out like this right now.
Take that!
Oh boy.
Objection!
Sorry. That's what happens. It has to be... This whole thing has to be really, really so precise. Let's try this now.
Take that!
See? This is going to be annoying.
Right, I trust that you will get us through it.
Yep. I will get through it somehow. But this game... this game.
Not making it easy on you.
Yep.
Take that!
Could you
Objection!
tilt it a little bit higher?
Yep.
A little bit more. Something like that.
Take that!
See how obnoxious this is?
It would be better if you could, like, have the shadow of the Blue Badger behind it to match.
Take that!
There we are! Finally! I hate that part. It has to be so precise. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this is a jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger.
No. It can't be. Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection!
Objection. Although we enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So the Badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection! I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Edgeworth, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's the difference now that we know the witness saw this jar?
I mean, doesn't really change the murder weapon. Not sure if it changes the murder either.
And implying it changes the location?
Yep, allow me to take these in turn.
Would change the location.
At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
A very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Objection!
Objection. The body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk.
On the other side of the room.
The witness testified so herself.
Objection! Yes, that is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Objection!
Objection. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There is no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. The next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? Oh. Oh.
Body of armor?
Ah!
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp, dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, it would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defendant theorizes, the outcome's obvious. In that moment, assuming the man in the sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. 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 That's oh. Oh. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No. Thud.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So, it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Objection! What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was him? How dare you try to pin the crime on him? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, you have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe in your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Well, we'll find out in a little bit because we're going to take a little break. Because I have to really go to the restroom.
Sounds good. See you in about 5 minutes.
See you then. Alright. Back in the nick of things. Evidence?
Do we have evidence? I was thinking about it. I don't know exactly if we have evidence. The thing that I was thinking about was that jar. You could dust it for prints where those little prints are.
Maybe.
No.
But let's see what Lana has to say first.
I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid it won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. We don't even have a spirit medium. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Huh. Touche, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's you.
That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. Real murder's name that the victim may have left behind. This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright? Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister's a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Take that!
This is the message left by the deceased. This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to speak a killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten that this is just a jar. Message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
Looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No. Mr. Wright. What kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name.
Spells Emma.
Yep. I give them that. Ta-da!
Take that!
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Sky.
Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief God. Do you understand the implication of what you've done? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dock was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ah. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Ah!
Objection! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we are defenders of justice?
What? Now now I believe it is... I forgot that line.
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter.
No, I know that looks bad.
Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, the fact cannot be denied.
what's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sentenced an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Or...
Order, order, order.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. No one knows. Do 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 do. All right. Okay, so given how things have been going so far, by timing's sake, I'm going to guess it's going to be another from now until then, probably another 2 hours or so. So we'll be going at least like 10:31 by that point. So this probably won't be the finale that I thought it would be, since we've covered a lot of ground. So unless you want to do an all-nighter, there's no way we can finish all of this at what we originally planned for. That is...
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah. We'll just go along where we can until, like, for the next 30 minutes, but there is definitely no way we're finishing this for tonight. So it's probably we're going to be finishing this when we can.
All right.
For the next time. Hopefully next Saturday, if I'm not busy at all. Not Sunday, because I'm doing other stuff then, so...
Okay. February 25th, 12:06, District Defendant Lobby, number 2.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Oh, the last time.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Got a lot of nerve here, pal, making a detective run around all while on duty. To top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
I take it Lana's having you run errands again?
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
Evidence log? That sheriff was talking about that just the other day. Blah, blah, blah.
Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book.
Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. From Miss Sky, it explains the 2 rules of evidence law.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why, I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat.
You're still sitting in the prosecutor's seat. And until the trial, feeling like a little kid.
Despite all of these allegations being thrown at me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Feeling like a true survivor. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. There we are.
The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she was unwittingly caused the man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end.
February 25th, 1252, District Courtroom Number 9.
Rebel.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning on imposing harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Man, I hope they don't cut his salary.
Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy for me to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain.
Huh.
You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
Then it is settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer.
Take that!
So we have to go with Gunn.
Yep, Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would be at least likely to have manipulated by me at any rate. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Grant to the stand.
tickling my hair.
Witness, please state your name and occupation. What's this? Some kind of practical joke?
No, we're not the practical joke TV people.
I was just on my way to lunch.
No, we're not the practical pranksters or whatever.
Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, right? But please, Mr. Grant. Fine. My name is Damon Grant, and I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons? Wait, do you have a pistol on you? Please don't shoot me.
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true? Now I know that seems bad.
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not going to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
SL9 incident.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went off to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious.
Ew.
When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Drake bumped his head. I see. Everything seems perfectly clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. We all know this is so BS. Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery, but I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That blue badger you showed us earlier.
A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the legal investigation.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Huh. He is a defense attorney who may even be rival-worthy.
So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery?
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Very well. You were the one who snuck into my office when I found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know.
How dare you accuse me of forging evidence? I'll get you back for that somehow.
Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Rhino? Objection! However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy report. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. Whoa.
What? Now I know that looks bad. If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the scene of the crime. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
The joke's on you. I know how to do math, and that was 6. Oh, wait, that is 4. Evidence and forgery.
Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. They were found after Dark was convicted, and they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences.
Ew.
Indeed, I believe I'll press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, Aji. In return, though. I know. That place, right?
Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic? Alright, so this one's a press.
That one's fine, because we were found inside his office before. So, my concern is, we know that the cup was presented into evidence before the murder of Dark was finalized, because the rest of the cup was in the evidence locker, right?
Alright.
So, I think this is where we press. I'm not.
What do you mean by that?
This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
Objection! If considering evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery,
I am not through speaking yet, Wright. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. They were found after Doc was convicted, and they're worthless. So I think we have to press here.
right? Are you saying that this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Doc was sentenced.
Objection! Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
Right. The chief is talking about the possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, Righto. Think about it. There's no reason I participate in it.
How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent. Who was it that murdered me? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Scott. Well, now you see.
Really, Chief Kent? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this bill?
That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh?
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Ha! Ha ha ha! Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of the SL9 merely sped up the inevitable.
Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyways.
God!
Be careful with that finger or you might wind up pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit perjury. If you didn't do it for yourself, you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There's only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I, myself, and me, myself, and I.
There it is, out in the open now. Haji, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me.
Hold it! Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, mine's little sister, was it? You've think I felt sorry for her. Bet I think you did. You're right. Don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone else? True, you might have not helped out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright. It appears you're positively determined to betray the chief. As a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I meant.
Very well, then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Yes.
Take that!
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant?
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. And I forgot the name of the writer who did that series. Lemony Snicket, there we are. Or at least pen name. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would be able to acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
Oh, you.
Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding.
I admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I control Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. What? Danger zone. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, there is all amounts to more than I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless this is also what happened in the incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strangely throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, You better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana to take the rap but the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? 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 Order, order, order. I said order.
And yep, this is all we're going to do for all of this.
Sounds good.
Alright, so this has been Dry Oasis. I've been your host, and these have been my two co-hosts, Kirby and Snorlax, in the background. Say goodbye, Kirby and Snorlax. Bye. I'll get, as for you, Fuzzy Cow, I'll get back to you on if I'll have time this upcoming weekend. So, do you have anything else to add?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Alright, as always, you can subscribe or follow me on Twitch or YouTube, follow me on Twitter, or donate to me on my Patreon, and let's see here. Ah. Right, it looks like someone else is playing an Ace Attorney game, so I'm just going to bring these people there, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.